The Tong Yang Group crisis is stirring up anger among affected individual investors who are frustrated with financial authorities.
It's hard to even imagine the pain that these people are going through. One widowed investor has even lost all of her former husband's insurance money.
8,000 dispute settlement cases were filed with the Financial Supervisory Service regarding the Tong Yang Group crisis last month, with the cost of damages reaching over $278 million. Despite efforts by financial consumer groups to garner relief aid, the conflict is escalating mainly because of the Financial Supervisory Service's neutral attitude. Yoo Li-an reported on the Tong Yang Group crisis, which has led some to call for the resignation of the Financial Supervisory Service's director.
Yoo Li-an, Arirang News.
President Park Geun-hye appeared on the global stage for a second time by attending the APEC summit meeting, which went on for 3 days. President Park emphasized the importance of multilateral trade and showed her will to strengthen the system.
President Park is expected to continue her push for trade liberalization and sales diplomacy.
Presidential Office correspondent Eoh Jin-joo highlighted the outcome and significance of the recent APEC meeting, which experts believe provided a spotlight for Korea's global leadership. The United States is having to answer to criticism that it was biased in siding with an American company in a patent dispute. The United States International Trade Commission decided that an old Samsung Electronics smartphone model violated Apple's patents and placed an import ban on select Samsung devices. President Barack Obama accepted the decision. But earlier this summer, Obama overturned an import ban on Apple products that faced similar patent infringements. Kim Yeon-ji reported on the case.
Kim Yeon-ji, Arirang News.
A few words from an interview can deliver
and where you're from.
a more powerful message than a written story.
Korea over maybe other East Asian countries.
Reporter Connie Lee searches high and low for a newer, better story at a location site.
Language Institute, nobody?
It's early in the morning and people are gathering. This event that has attracted so many people is the Hangul writing contest for foreigners held annually around Hangul Day.
이건 언제쯤 받을 수 있어요?
이거는 오늘 아마
오늘 안에?
오늘 안에 제가 메일로 다시 보내드릴게요.
이메일로, 그쵸?
네, 제가 보내드렸던 이메일 다시 보내드릴게요.
So right when we arrived, it was pretty early in the morning, but still there were so many people already piling into the amphitheater, and so we were pretty surprised by the number of participants for this year's writing contest. I think 행사 시작하기 전에 우리가 10분 정도 있거든. 그래서 일단 인터뷰를 막 따려고 그냥 짧게 뭘 쓸 예정이냐.
Connie Lee does not waste a moment and allocates her time wisely.
일로.
Who will be the first interview candidate among the 1,000 participants? The reporter spots a group of students.
Hi. I didn't come here because everyone was pointing at you. I thought, it'd be fun to interview you. All right, so we're from Arirang TV, and we're doing a segment on this writing contest today. So you're the chosen one, apparently.
My name is Joe and I'm from America. I've been learning Korean for 9 months.
And what made you learn Korean?
I taught English here last year and I really liked Korea, so I decided I would try and learn the language.
The first interview goes well, and then Connie gets busier.
Hi. If you don't mind, if I can ask you a few questions about how you started learning Korean.
I really like the way people live here, and they're very similar to Italians in some aspects. So
in your opinion, is learning Korean kind of difficult or not too bad?
well, it is difficult, but so far so good. So I'm lucky because I have a linguistic background which allows me to learn faster and easier.
Hangul is known to be one of the most outstanding alphabets in the world. The Hangul writing contest shows the level of enthusiasm and interest in Hangul by the global community. This kind of interest is what brought reporter Connie Lee to the Hangul writing contest. The themes are to be revealed through a Korean traditional game. River is the theme for poetry and memory for essays. The key is to write in accurate Korean and try to enhance the beauty of the language. As soon as the contest starts, Connie begins to move around again.
Do you guys speak English?
Yeah.
Yes, where are you guys from?
I'm from Sweden.
Sweden? And France, okay.
I've been here since December. I came because I want to work for a Swedish company in Korea. So I'm learning it because I need it in work. Yeah.
This young Swedish man is visiting Korea for work, but he has decided to participate in the writing contest.
And in general, Korean people are
He says he may not know Hangul very well, but does have a passion for the
really
language.
nice, actually.
The Hangul Writing Contest is a popular event that attracts over 2,000 participants every year. The participants think hard about how to write in Hangul, and some letters are written in an awkward manner with uneven shapes. But the whole event is a festival, and it's for fun. Just like for these
Hi.
people.
Hello.
Hello, I'm from Arirang TV. You guys know Arirang TV?
Yes, but the last time was June. Last time I came here.
Yeah, June. All right, so do you guys know what you're going to write about?
Yeah, it's a river.
How did you first start learning Korean?
I studied Japanese in Japan, and I met a lot of Korean friends, and I got interested in the language, so I came here as well.
After the interview, there's a situation that causes a little confusion for the camera crew.
자기가 쓴 시를 나한테 읽어줬으면 좋겠어.
나는 지금 카니가 그러니까 뭘 원하는지 모르겠어. 나 지금 되게 헷갈려.
나도 지금 계속 바뀌고 있어. 처음에는
바뀌면 안 되지. 내가 지금 막
왜?
찍어서 막 헷갈려. 내가 뭘 찍어야 될지 모르겠다니까.
그냥 이 상황 이렇게 보여주는 거지. 이렇게 한글에 이렇게 되게 관심 있는 사람들이 많다. 그리고 한국말을 되게 잘하는 애들도 많다.
With countless interviews taking place, the staff gets confused. What does Connie want from the situation?
It was actually a very hot day. It's October, but it felt like June or July. It was like a summer day. And so it was tiring for my camera crew to follow me all around for all these interviews. And I don't think they quite understood what kind of angle that I was getting at. But for me, I just wanted to get as many sound bites that I could. And then I wanted to get a lot of interviews more than anything because this event happens every year, and so actually the images and the video is the same every year, you know, crowds of people gathering and writing a poem or an essay. And so this year I wanted to be a little different and make my story come alive with the interviews that I would get at the event. And so I went out and got as many interviews as I could.
There were participants who caught the attention of Connie's crew. They were Japanese students who came to Korea to study, and they were showing a lot of excitement as they came on a field day.
다 썼어요? 뭐 시 아니면 시를 선택했어요. 가도 돼요? 네.
이분도 한국말 잘 못해요.
헤이! 저 잘하죠? 네. 저 6급 할 수 있는데?
The deadline approaches and the Hangul submissions pile up, all of which contain long hours of effort put in by the participants. Connie couldn't be more curious about the results.
Hi Kim, are you done?
Yes.
Yeah? All right, so can I have you kind of read through what you wrote?
Yeah, sure. 전에 촉 그리다 강은 행로가 바꿨다. 그래도 어디에 가도 아무도 많아도 강은 마침까지 변하지 않는다. 같이 끝까지 가보자.
The poem is read slowly, leaving room for improvement, but the audience claps, acknowledging the contestants' effort.
So this year's topics were river for a poem or memory if they're writing an essay. And so I actually met a few people and I had them to read their pieces, and surprisingly it wasn't that bad. I saw that they put a lot of heart and effort into it, and although they did have some few grammatical errors and spelling errors, but I could see their meaning behind it and their intentions of writing it. And so it was fun. It was fun to see different foreigners trying their best at putting a piece together in a language that they're not familiar with.
Finally, the writing contest comes to an end after half a day. The winning contestants stand up to receive their awards.
수상자는 스펠 부문의 벨라루스에서 오신 김유리 씨.
This young man who jumps onto the stage is this year's first place winner.
567도 한글날을 맞이하여
His essay was evaluated according to how well he portrayed his agony over a memory. A total of 2,021 foreigners and overseas Koreans took part in the competition, and 69 participants got awards. Connie does not miss out on a chance to interview the first place winner.
안녕하세요. 축하합니다. 혹시 벨라루스에서 오셨는데 한국말 어떻게 배우게 됐어요?
독학으로 주로 배웠고 또
네.
한국 친구들 만나서 이렇게 배웠어요.
한국 친구들 원래 집은 벨라루스?
벨라루스 국적이에요. 예.
부모님은 한국 분.
저는 100년 전에
네.
우리 할아버지, 증조 할아버지 러시아 동쪽으로 이민하셔서 이제 그다음에 강제 이주 통해 이제 카자흐스탄으로 가셔서 혹시
우리가 나중에 이렇게 팔로우업 스토리를 하고 싶은데 내일 혹시 시간 되면 우리가 연락할게요. 그래서 내일 스케줄은
The young man has come to Korea to find out more about his roots. Connie parts with him but promises to do an interview the next day. The next day, a different person showed up for the interview, a student from Egypt called Yoo-li-an.
처음인데 근데 이집트에서는 한국어를 계속 배웠다고.
예.
그렇죠.
한국어를 전공하는 거예요.
Originally, I was planning to focus on one character from the writing contest, but the morning of, due to different schedule conflicts and different story conflicts, I had to change my character last minute. And so thankfully, the person that I found, she was available at the right time.
In fact, Yoo-li-an also received an award at the Hangul writing contest.
축하드립니다, 오늘.
네, 감사합니다.
오늘 시를 쓴 거예요? 뭘 써서? 수필이요. 혹시 한국어 배운 지 얼마큼 됐어요?
저는 이집트 한국어 이집트 엔참스대 학교 한국어 학과에서 강사예요. 2달 반 동안.
She talked to Connie for a short period of time during the event.
처음에는 이제 어떻게 한국어를 배우게 됐나요?
드문 언어를 배우면 나중에 졸업해서 쉽게 취업할 수 있다고 생각해서 이렇게 한국어 학과를 이렇게 입학하는 것을 결정했어요. 이렇게 취업하는 것은 정말 어려워요. 네. 하지만 이렇게 한국어를 배웠으니까 쉽게 취업할 수 있었어요.
The individual for the interview changed at the last minute due to a scheduling conflict, but Yoo-li-an turned out to be quite a character.
Yoo-li-an, which I met at the event, she's actually, I figured, a pretty unique character at the event because she didn't first learn Korean out of her love or interest in the Korean culture or K-pop, as many people assume that that's the reason why foreigners are interested in Korean language. But for herself, she lives in Egypt and she thought that learning Korean could give her an extra edge in her career and help her to find a job once she graduates. And lo and behold, she was correct. As soon as she graduated with a Korean language degree, she was able to get a job as a translator. And so I think she had a pretty unique story, and she's also a Korean language teacher at a university in Cairo. And so, although she's not Korean, she had never been to Korea before, she was able to work as a college instructor for Korean. 오늘 촬영 갑작스럽게 협조해주셔서 감사합니다. 그래서 얘기 들으셨죠? 그래서 노란시 위주로 촬영을 할 건데.
네, 안녕하세요. 저는 한국어 선생님이고요. 네, RCC 반 선생님이에요.
Yoo-li-an is enrolled in a Korean language class at a Korean university.
남자는 어때요? 남자는? 부자. 항상 부자. 실장님, 사장님. 그런데 항상 그런 완벽한 남자가 조금 완벽하지 않은 여자를 좋아해요. 저는.
The atmosphere is lively and fun during class. The students have a lot of interest in Korean dramas, music, and the ordinary aspects of Korean life. This is how they learn the Korean language. Reporter Connie Lee tried to show the events of her coverage rather than using elaborate language. Her story displayed the enthusiasm of the global community to learn Hangul, the Korean language.
Through the story, I was able to see the beauty of Hangul, or the Korean alphabet or Korean language. I saw with this writing contest that different people from all parts of the world came together in the name of Hangul. And Hangul was kind of the common thread that brought everyone together. And so it was really amazing to see people of different nationalities and of all ages to come to learn Hangul and appreciate the language. I also realized that the language has gotten quite more recognition nowadays than it did before. More people know about Korea, more people know about Korean culture and history. It's not just K-pop anymore, it's also the traditional culture that is gaining the interest of many people around the world.
해외 동포들을 주로 상대하는 송출하는 아리랑 방송이거든요. 우리는 한글 세계화에 대해서
우리는 세계적으로 우수한 한글을 가진 민족적 자부심을 갖고 모든 분야에서 우리 한글을 사용하자고 강조했습니다.
인사드릴게요. 늦은데 우리 너무 일찍 와서 네. 여러 사람을 힘들게 하는 시간을 맞춰야 돼.
좋은 얘기 많이 해주세요.
그리고 보니까 답을 굉장히 어렵게 잘 좀 했는데 질문은 쉽게 했는데.
네. 저희 녹화 방송이니까 중간에 아무 때나 스탑하고 다시 가셔도 돼요.
요즘 이 다녀보면 참 우리 문화의 확산에 대한 그런 반응들이 아주 대단하대요. 근데 칠레가 개방 경제하면서 이제 굉장히 대외적인 행보를 넓히고 그러면서 우리 그 K-팝 스타들이 아마 한두 번 와가지고 공연도 하고 그러고 난 뒤에 이 한국 세종학당 소위 거기에 지원자들이 너무 많이 몰려가지고 아주 즐거운 비명을 지르고 있더라고요.
나, 다, 라, 마, 바, miel, il a la valeur d'un M, les formés, donc je vous ai écrit à côté.
안녕하세요.
반갑습니다.
이 한글이 생김으로써 굉장히 문화적인 그레이드가 높아지게 되는 거고 스마트폰 입력 단말기가 이제 나오면서 보니까 가장 과학적인 글 중에 하나라는 게 입증이 된다는 거죠.
맞아요. 저희가 문자도 영어로 문자 치면 정말 나름 그냥 좀 더.
이게 재미있는 거는 중국의 유학생들도 자기들 나라에 그걸 쓰는데 이제 한국에 와가지고 한국 친구들하고 이제 이렇게 하고 한국 생활에 익숙해지면 한국인지 단말기를 가지고 있는 거예요. 발음만 알면 되니까 니하우마 쳐서 보내는 거예요. 그럼 받는 이쪽에도 인사네, 니하우마 이렇게 대화가 된다는 거지. 우리가 이제 발음 소리를 그대로 이제 우리는 적어낼 수 있으니까 그만한 장점이 있거든요. 그래서 이제 앞으로의 경쟁력은 이렇게 이제 그 어떤 소리의 표준글이 되어가지고 우리가 이제 스탠다드가 될 수 있는 이제 그 문이 열려가지고 있다.
Thompson, and welcome to After 10. Today is October 9th, Hangul Proclamation Day. And for the first time in 23 years, this day that celebrates the Korean language is being celebrated as a national holiday. Now, starting this year, Hangul Proclamation Day is a national holiday once again. Tell us what that means.
우리 이제 한글이 가지는 문화적인 이 가치, 우수성 이런 것도 알리고 그리고 중고화 시대에
Mr. Lawmaker, thank you very much for